Hi Mike, this is Neil Cullen from Energise Technology. Thanks very much for getting in touch with us. Your question was about how trustees can use technology in order to carry on their governance activity, including those with limited digital skills or limited access to computers. We're going to look at a number of technologies that you can use in order to manage and run your trustees' meetings, including options to ensure that even those with limited access to computers can still engage fully. You also asked whether there are any online guides around the use of video conferencing and online technologies, so I've put a few links to those in the comments below. So first of all, we're going to look at all the tools and technologies you're going to need in order to set up your trustees meeting. We're going to look at creating a space where you can share documents. We're going to look at a calendar so that you can plan all of your trustees meetings. And also we're going to see how to create a virtual meeting and send invites to all of your trustees. There are a number of technologies which are going to support you doing this, but for this demo, we're going to be looking at Office 365. So we need to log into Office 365, so we're going to head over to office.com and sign in using our email address and password. If you haven't used Office 365 before, you get a number of icons, one for each application you've got access to. The one we're looking at today is Sharepoint, and that's Microsoft's collaboration and document sharing platform, so we're going to go ahead and click on that. We need to create an area that we can share and collaborate, so we're going to create a new site, and you do this by clicking the Create Site button in the top left hand corner. This is going to give us a number of options, but what we want to do is create a team site, so that's going to allow us to share documents and have conversations with their team, keep track of events and manage tasks. We need to pick a name. One important part of this is the privacy settings. We need to make sure this is still set to private so that only people we invite to this site have got access to the documents. And then we're going to go ahead and click Next. Within the screen, this allows you to set up additional people. You can set up extra admins who have got control over the whole site, or you can add members. So this Add Members area is where you're going to type in all of the email addresses for all your trustees. They'll then get an email which says you've got access to this site so that they can connect and look at all the documents you're sharing. So now we're in our site. The first thing we want to do is create a structure where we can put all of our documents so that people have got access. And we do this by clicking on the Documents menu on the left-hand side. We need to think about the document structure that we can have inside here. And what I'd probably recommend is that you have one folder per trustees meeting. So we're going to go ahead and create a folder for a meeting that we've got in June. Brilliant. So the folder's created, so I'm going to drill down inside that. And I'm going to create a couple of folders for the agenda and the previous minutes, just so that you've got an idea about how you go about it. Brilliant. So our folder structure is created. What we now want to do is be able to upload a document. So I'm going to click into the agenda folder. You can see this area in the middle of the screen which says drag files here. So what we can do is go to my local computer and we're going to grab a file that we want to share and we're going to drag and drop it into this area and just let go of the mouse button when we're there. And what this is going to do is upload that document. And you can do exactly the same for the previous minutes. So all those people that you invited as part of that first step, where you're going to put in their email addresses, they have now got access to these documents. One neat part about SharePoint is that you can download a whole folder as a zip file. So if your users haven't got access to SharePoint or they need it in a different way, you can actually go and download the whole file from here. It downloads it as a zip file, and then you can attach that to an email and send it to them. So we've seen how to create a document structure and we've seen how to upload documents. So if you want to use SharePoint and you just want to restrict what you're doing to this point, this is a really great way of sharing and keeping everybody up to date. But what we're going to do now is to have a look a little bit further, and we're going to add a calendar into this site as well. So the process to add a calendar can be a little bit clunky. So the first thing we need to do is head over to Site Contents on the left hand side and click that. And then we've got this Site Settings button in the top right hand corner, so we're going to go ahead and click that. We want Manage Site Features. And we're going to find the calendar in this list. There we go, it's under Project Functionality. So we're going to click Activate. Now this is going to put a calendar on the home page of our site, so when we go there everybody can see it. So now when we go back to the home page, we can see we've got this calendar link here on the left hand side. So you can now see your calendar. It's really easy to go in and add a particular appointment or date into the calendar. There we go. So you can see that one's been created. I'm going to head back to the home page. And so everybody's got access to this shared calendar now. So the final thing we need to do is to create our online meeting in Teams and schedule it for that particular time. So I'm going to head into Outlook. So within my calendar in Outlook, what I'm going to do is just create a normal meeting here. So a new meeting request. And at the top, I have this option of Teams meetings, so I'm going to go ahead and click that, and what that'll do is insert all of the links to the virtual meeting inside this email. The important thing to note as well is that we've got in the link a phone number and we've got a conference ID. So for any of our users that don't have access to a PC, what they can do is dial in to that number at the appropriate time, put in their conference ID, and they'll be dialed in. They won't be able to see any of the screen share and stuff, but they'll still be able to contribute to the meeting. So everybody's now got access to this particular link, but what I'm also going to do is take that and I'm going to paste it into the calendar that we created in Sharepoint. So this is just so everybody's got access to it now. So now we're all set for our meeting. All the documents have been uploaded and shared. We've created a calendar so people can see all the things that they need to do. And we've created a virtual meeting and sent people the link so that everybody's got access to it. So it's the day of the meeting, and as the host it's your job to kick off that meeting. So the first thing you need to do is go into the meeting invite that you sent round, and this has got the link to the Teams meeting inside it. So the first thing to do is to click on that link. So the meeting has started and we can now hit join. I've covered some of the technology and equipment that you're going to need in order to run virtual meetings in some of the other videos that we've done, so I'll put a link to that here. But first I wanted to just quickly run through some of the options that we've got in this toolbar at the bottom. The first one is to turn the webcam on or off. So if you do have a webcam, this is how you can allow people to see you, or to switch it off as well. The next one is to control your microphone. So this will put you on mute or take you off of mute. This is a really good idea. If there's a conversation going on that you're not contributing at that point in time, it can be good to put yourself on mute so that you don't get any background noise and interrupt the meeting. One thing to remember though is to switch yourself back on. I've been in many meetings where I've been merrily chatting away only to realise that I'm on mute and no one can hear me. The next one is to share your screen. So as the host, what might be a nice idea is if you share the agenda and any of the documents or papers that you're running through. There are some other options. So there's a conversation, so you can add text notes in here. This is quite useful if someone's having issues with their audio or struggling to hear. They can type a message into this chat window and you can help them through that process. One final thing that I just wanted to cover was the options to record. Now this is entirely up to you. You can record your Teams meetings and you could even upload them back into the Sharepoint area afterwards, but I'd probably recommend that you don't record the meeting. There are certain things in there which might be sensitive, and so I'd advise not recording the meeting but just keeping good minutes. The meeting's over. It was a great success. We've written up all of our minutes and the actions that we've got, and now we're back into SharePoint. So in the same way before we uploaded all the documents here, we can go into our folder structure and upload the minutes and actions that we've got. But one part that I did want to show you as well within SharePoint is this tasks area. So what this is going to allow you to do is to be able to create tasks, and these could be actions or outcomes from your meetings. You can add start and end dates. And you can assign them to specific people. And we've also got other descriptions, all of those kind of things in there. So it's a real kind of project management kind of environment. So if you feel that this is a way that you would like to track and monitor and share all of your actions coming out of your trustees meetings, it's a really good option for you. For a lot of people, learning new technologies can be really scary, especially if you're in a pressured environment and feeling that you need to contribute, such as a trustees meeting. So a really good word of advice is to practice with your trustees before. If they're not confident with the technology, take some time just to do one-on-one meetings, just to really get them up to speed with what they're doing and really help them through that initial barrier. So thanks so much for listening. I hope you found this useful and that it's answered your question. We're going to try and do loads of these, so as many people as we can get with their problems. We're going to do a similar kind of video and publish them as wide as we can, so that we can try and make life as easy as we can for people at the moment. If you thought this was useful and you like the content, please head to our website. We'll be updating that, but also follow us on our social media channels as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.